the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, roll call. Let the record show that the council is present. Item 3, safety seconds by Councilmember Miller. I'll turn the time over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. My safety second is barely over that. To be timely, beware of large trucks hauling waxy crude. They can be dangerous.
Okay, thank you. Item 4A, pickleball courts, support, donation, and consideration of possible acceptance of a donation to Price City from Emory Telecom. I'll turn the time over to Taryn Powell.
Hello, Council. So yes, I'm Taryn Powell with Emory Telecom. I am super excited to offer you guys this donation. We have a $10,000 donation for your guys' pickleball courts. It's an upcoming sport. It's crazy busy. I think at any given time of day, people are always playing and waiting to play. So I would like to present this check to you guys.
Thank you.
So say, Mayor, I'll give it to you.
Pickleballers are getting very anxious for their
Yes,
schedule.
they're with the
Do we have
courts
a
and-
status update?
So basically, as I talk about our pickleball courts, there's an RFP, being put together. We've talked, Justin, Miles, and John Boyd. John Boyd's the one that's putting that RFP together. They met with the engineer. There's some different things. The flood has put our crews behind because our crews were going to do some of the work on demolition. So that's what I'm explaining. I had a text the other day about, where are we at with this? And so I think the bottom line is to the community is that, yeah, we got set back with the flooding, and everybody understands that flooding issue, and our guys, how, involved they've been doing of the cleanup. So the timeline, the RFP, probably, Miles, is there an idea?
It's going to be early after the first of the year for spring, hopefully construction in spring.
Yeah, but hopefully our guys
are going to be done by that time.
Yeah.
The demolition.
With the demolition and some of the work. So that's the one thing. I think if the pickleball people see some of the work being done, then the angst will go away. And that's all they're asking for. So yeah, thank you. Do you have anything else, Miles, that you want to share?
No, I'm just saying we want to make sure we do it right with compaction and everything. I know that the new ones over in Emory County are cracking already because they need compaction on their courts, and so we want to make sure we do it right.
Yeah, they had their grand opening in Orangeville the other day, and yeah, just making sure we're doing it right the first time, and I think that's something we need to do. Okay,
Mayor?
yes.
Motion to accept.
Okay.
I would make that motion to accept this donation from Emory Telecom. Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Willis and a second from Councilmember Jesperson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And again, we're probably at 110,000 that we've received in donations. So the community is backing this project also. So that's wonderful. Okay, item B, recognition, take pride in prize contest, recognition. This is something that we had a couple citizens donate some money to the city for a project, and I think it's wonderful. It's something that's sending a message. I've talked with those folks, and so they're here tonight, and we're going to recognize them. With that being said, so Jen Beauchard. Okay, Jen, you won second place with your home. I'd like to let you say some words, and then I'll present this.
So I can't remember how I worded it when I had spoken to you, and I know you would have wanted me to share that, but I guess, since moving here, my son and my husband, he had a part in helping paint the fence, but that's why he's so proud to come up here. He's like, yes, I got to help. But when we first moved into our home, there's just so much for us to do, and looking on the outside of our home, we're like, gosh, we really gotta do something about that first. And the way I kind of see it is that if you start something, it kind of makes a ripple effect, you know, like the
Yes.
drop in the river or the water, where it makes that ripple effect of where other people want to do it. So I think it kind of just shares our light to kind of spread that light around with everyone else.
What a great smile.
I think this smile, you guys can't see this smile, but it's wonderful.
I think I'll show you. You can turn around, so there you go.
Well, we would like to present you with this certificate, and these are gift cards. So,
Thank you
yeah, thank
so
you.
much.
Good job. And you know what, I have a key to the city for you, so I'll get that to you. With that, I'll drop that off. You're welcome. I was looking for it. Okay, so our first place winner of $150, and it was enjoyable as I sat down with this couple, and I think it's awesome. You know, I even took the person that gave us the money, Kathy Hannah Smith, by and said, you have to meet this couple. They're wonderful. What they're doing is setting an example in their neighborhood, and it's evident to me and to her. So Carrie Lunt and Robin Lunt come forward. I don't know who the spokesman is. I
guess it'd be me. Yeah, when we first got that house, you know, there was nothing in the yard or nothing. And we've been trying to get it all together and trying to set an example for the other people down the street on both sides to get it done, so. It's taken a while, about 3 years.
But, and the home next to you,
Yeah.
follow that example.
Yeah,
That one worked out good too.
Yeah, so you're setting that example and you're planting that seed for the
Yeah.
neighborhood. So we're just appreciative as a council.
What's your address?
it's 35 west, 400 south,
Okay,
just off Carbon there.
yeah.
By the Baptist Church.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you. Here's the certificate and 150. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Just wanting to see about getting a speed limit sign put on that road. And no parking on that other side.
Yeah, there are people parking on the sidewalk that
Yeah.
we talked.
Yeah,
We'll try to get
It's
that.
not very wide though.
Okay.
yeah.
But a speed limit sign would be really good. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, now we have recognition. You have been recognized awards, and this has been fun for Commissioner Haddock, Kathy Hannah Smith, myself, and this is another project where people are coming forward and taking on and cleaning up different parts of the community, and it's wonderful. So the first one is Barbie Heck.
Prepare anything to say, so thank you very much.
I know that.
I planted some flowers at the county building, and I didn't have any idea about Take Pride in Price. I just saw a need and planted some flowers. So thank you very much.
Okay, the next one is Gary Blake.
So you want me to describe the project?
Yes.
Across the street from the high school marquee, there's a strip of property that has been debated, whether it's been personal property, private property or the city. And so I made some investigation, found out it belongs to the city, so I met with the mayor. Our neighborhood agreed to cut down all the trees on that piece of property if the city would come in and finish up, re-landscape and what have you. We'll help you with that when you're ready to do so. That was our project. Thanks for the opportunity to help that out. The other neighbors are kind of bashful and asked that we just recognize the neighborhood at Crestview Drive and 700 East. So that's what we did. Thank you so much for your help.
Oh, thank you. I mean, what you're doing is resonating, and what he did was they sent flyers for participation on this project to the neighborhood. So that's, you know, saying, hey,
Yep. So
we want to make a difference, so we want to recognize you for
well,
this.
thank you so much.
Okay, the next one is Gary Christensen.
Well, I really don't have a lot to say other than I appreciate the fact that you're coming around and recognizing people and what we do to our yards. I know we spend a lot of time and hard work to keep our yard up, and it's nice to have people come by and say that, you know what, it's nice to see a house like this in the neighborhoods that they are. I guess if I was gonna really say anything, I would like to see some type of effort to encourage or whatever we have to do to get other people to do that to the yards. I mean, as you go through the city and you see really nice places, and then you go to the next house and you see weeds that are 6 feet tall, and it's like, and if it happens to be next to your house, it actually shows something to your house. So I do appreciate the recognition for this, and didn't really expect it when Kathy come by, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is Wade Williams, but he said he wasn't going to show up. He didn't want. Okay, the next one is Jim Massa. Is he here? Okay. Alan Peterson. Okay, and Ed Knight and Tara Knight. Okay, so we'll make sure that we recognize them. There's some that have already received their certificates, and with these certificates, just to let you know, you turn them in to the utility department and they'll give you a $50 gift or card, so you can use it anywhere. So thank you. There isn't anybody I'm missing, am I? Say your name.
Valentina Guzman.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I had this on the other. The Guzmans, yes. Sorry. Come on forward. Thank you. I apologize. I have it here, but I didn't have it.
I didn't know we were supposed to say
Yeah.
anything. Since it's kind of unexpected too. We put a lot of work into our yard this year. We put in a new double driveway. We redid our sidewalks. We had 4 huge trees in our front yard. We cut them halfway down. I thought they died because there was nothing, but they've come up so beautiful. We took out all the grass underneath them and put in rocks so we don't have to use water in there anymore. What else have we done? That's about it. But, we just appreciate you guys acknowledging it.
Well, we appreciate what you guys are doing. And in your neighborhood, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, it is. There's some rough areas over there, so.
But, you know, that's the thing is, you're the light, you know, in the rest of that darkness. And you know, hopefully you'll change that environment from what you're doing. Does the council have anything to say from this? I mean, I've said a lot, but we've done
I
recognize.
think just driving around town, I've noticed a lot of improvement. I live south of town, so just in this little bubble of Tri-City. But I drive Carbon Avenue all day long, like several times a day, and I've noticed that people have cut down the weeds that are growing in the gutters and along their fence lines, and you know, the trailer court just last week cut all of their elm trees down. So it makes a huge difference, just a little bit of effort, if it's just cutting down weeds, makes a huge difference, and it's visible, you can tell. And I appreciate everybody's efforts.
We're right on the corner of by the Pepsi plant, 2 houses from Pepsi plant, so we're like right there. So it's good to keep it looking good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. Thank you. Okay. Okay, item D, real property donation, consideration and possible approval of the receipt of a donation of real property, ID number 01-1791-0000 from North Park Estates to Price City. No cost for property, authorization to pay transitional costs, title work closing estimated $500 or less, authorization for staff to finalize and administer the donation transaction. Nick, I'll let you talk to this.
Thank you, Mayor. Price City was approached by the owners of a parcel under the name of North Park Estates. General address is about 50 east, 650 north. A lot of it is hillside, and they've owned it for many years. No development, have no plans for development. The request was, went through the Real Property Committee. Real Property Committee evaluated potential uses for the property, different city benefits for the community, and has recommended that the City Council accept the request, accept the donation of the property. Some of the property owners are in attendance tonight if you have questions for them.
Okay. The owners of that property are here. I'd like to recognize them if you would like to come forward and tell us why.
Richard looks guilty.
We're all here tonight, but years ago, does everybody know on First East where the old reservoir used to be, the city parks trucks in there now? This property is just to the west of there, and it's not buildable, but at the time there was a man named John Bugle and then Joe Hammond that I was friendly with, and they were handling that subdivision. He's laughing because he bought a house from them. There were several of us, Roy and myself and others, and there's nothing you can really do residential on the property, but it's right adjacent to the back side of the old reservoir. And we thought it would be better if it was in Price City's hands. So we would like to donate that property to Price City and can work to get whatever the details are to make that transaction effective. Am I making sense at all?
No, you are, and I think that from this property also, and I think with the flood mitigation that we're working on, that could be a huge part of this.
Yeah, it's right in that critical part of the drainage.
And that's gonna help us, you know, so we appreciate that. Council, if you want to say something?
I think that was a key piece of looking at it is the timing of getting that piece right now is perfect with the project we're trying to do on Wood Hill with the water and.
Yeah, and the owners, we're all here, are kind of lazy about doing things. And I think the city.
Do you want to address that?
I'll pass. Any other comments from the council? Okay, the chair will ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the real property donation.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilmember Jesperson and a second from Councilmember Miller. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, item E, Matrix Assessment Management Software Subscription, consideration and possible approval to purchase a software subscription to MaintainX for assess. and work order management for public works and other city departments. Total cost for the first year subscription setup is $7,880. Miles, do you want to talk about this?
This came about because we have a software program that's currently being used. It's not going to be supported anymore by Microsoft, and so we're having to move to a new format. And it's mainly for our fleet program, but it's going to be expanded to include all work orders in the city. It'll be a very efficient process. We'll be able to connect all the departments. It has a lot more capacity than we're being using now. So we're excited for the opportunity.
Yeah, I think this is moving in a positive direction with our work order, and basically from cradle to grave. Once that is generated, as a council, but also we can track costs, we can track parts, we can track a lot of stuff that we're not right now. We're trying to, but I think this is a turn of making sure that we're doing what we're asked to do. So
It'll be a benefit for both internal and external work orders.
yes.
As people call in with a problem with the city, the receptionist will take note of the problem and put a work order together each time we get a call. So we follow through with.
That's the exciting part for me. I mean, we all, get these calls from citizens about concerns. Now we can generate, and then the guys can schedule it, so we can show that there's some efficiency into their hours of work. So that, I'm excited about this. Okay, any other comments? Chair will ask for a motion.
I move we approve the MaintainX assessment management software subscription.
I have a motion from Councilmember Miller and a second from Councilmember Richardson. I didn't know he was looking. Okay, from Richardson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'll ask a motion to open a public hearing.
I'd make the motion that we go into public hearing for taxable water and sewer revenue bonds at 5:23 p.m.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Willis and a second from Councilmember Jesperson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. I'll turn the time over to Eric, our attorney for Price City.
It's good to be with you again. I'll speak just briefly to the necessity of the project that is the city is undertaking. So up on the Soldier Summit area is where the city has its springs, and it has a main line bringing water down the canyon. I've been informed that that line was put in the 1930s. Now, a water line like that would have an expected reasonable life of 40 or maybe 50 years, and we're coming up on 90, which means it's been well managed and it has been well used. And so that's what the project is. The city has obtained a funding commitment from a state agency for $15,197,000. There's some numbers up there, and they're not quite in the columns that they kind of got sprayed around, so let me explain them. So the total funding is $15,197,000 has been approved. Of that, $4,559,000 is grant, or what they call loan forgiveness. And that does not have to be repaid, right? That's just a subsidy to the city. So that leaves a loan expected loan of $10,638,000. It doesn't actually carry interest rate. It's a hardship grant assessment, but it works just like interest, and at 2%. So on the $10,600,000, how much will have to be repaid over the 30-year life of the loan? $14,462,660. Okay. So now let's compare that funding package to if this whole $15,197,000 project, if you went out on the market and borrowed all that money at 5%. I've done bond sales in the last 3 weeks for two different other communities, and 5%, one was just under and one was just over. And so 5% is just right what it is today. That when this loan package was approved, it actually was higher than that. But if 5% was what you had to borrow at, and you repaid that over 30 years, the full 15 million, you would repay $29,369,081. So the amount of subsidy to Price City by the state agency is $14,906,421. So I just, you know, as we're opening up the public hearing, I wanted to mention just what the subsidy is. It's just a smidgen over 50% with the reduced interest rate and a third grant. And so that's the impact. So the two main questions anytime there's a public project is, do we really need it? In this instance, yes, you do. I've helped fund literally hundreds of projects across the state of Utah, and this is just as necessary and urgent as any that I've worked on. And then the second question is, hey, is this the best deal we can get? And again, you know, this is a good deal, 50% subsidy, that's a good deal. You always want more, but realistically, that's about what you could hope to get. Yes?
Question, why did we get such a good deal?
Miles submitted that application. Miles, do you want to speak to why you got such a good deal?
Well, we were pretty good at communicating with the state what our problem was and the urgency of the situation, which I think they took into consideration. They are also knowing that we have another project behind this one that's going to be probably even more expensive that we're going to be dealing with the treatment plant. And I think they took that into consideration as well. We also we took the steps necessary to get their support by raising our rates beforehand. I know it wasn't a very popular thing we did, but by raising the water rates to pay for this debt, they were able to give us a better financial situation.
Thank you.
So the public hearing, your lender asks that we don't just do a public hearing for exactly what they approve. They always want a cushion in there. And so the amount for the public hearing is a maximum of $14 million. So he's not expecting to borrow $14 million. It's only expecting to borrow $10,638,000, but at this stage, they want a little extra in there. So that's why the amount is larger than what the lending agency has already spent. Other questions from the council? Okay, well, I'll just be over here to answer questions from the public if there are any.
Okay. Okay, at this time, I'll turn the time over to the public. If anybody would like to come, state your name and ask any questions.
Diana Wood, and I live on 748 North, 100 East. And every time we get a lot of rainfall, I get flooded.
Oh.
And part of the reason is because of the alleyway access across the street from me,
Okay.
which the city did not know they own it until I told them last year when I got flooded. So they did check it out, they do own it, but they haven't done anything with it. And there's also some empty property up by, I don't know if it's an electrical box or what, but it just gushes down those hills right there and down into my neighbor north of me. She gets worse than I do. Then my house and 2 houses down. So something was supposed to be done, but it hasn't been. And then I call the city to come and do the mud. They've been to my house twice, once to scrape the road, which they don't do a very good job. I know the whole city is dirty. But along with all the yard, congratulations, I work really hard on my yard. And I spend a lot of money on water for my yard. So I don't want to have to sweep the streets, although I have done that. And I used to shovel my gutter. But because of wrist surgery, I can't do that. So I would like, when you call the city, they send someone and they do it well. So I had them come a second time to clean under my driveway. The culvert under my driveway is pretty low. Well, they did come and they squirted it out, and it was still backlashing at them, but they said they might come back later in the day. They never did. But what they did do, because they did my neighbors north of me and then mine, which is also the south of me neighbor, now our gutters are full of mud again. So I don't know how to get a hold of someone that makes something happen and have the workers do a good job.
Well, they'll come by, and to this point, yeah, we'll talk to Miles after this meeting, and we'll address this issue. Right now, we're in the time of, for the bond, for the public comment, so we'll address this at another time.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other items that need to be addressed under the water bond? Okay.
With that, I will make a motion to close the public
Let me
hearing.
just So, I'm new to these, Mike Garuli. I'm new to these. I don't know a whole lot if you guys have talked about this before. But when you pop up numbers like $15 million, that scares the heck out of us as citizens. So where's that money gonna come from? Like that $15 million? Obviously, it's gotta be done. But where's that money gonna come from? Is our water rates gonna go up again after that big hike? Is it gonna go up again after that big hike that we had the last time? Once this $15 million comes up, and I do understand that this is something that needs to be done, but where's that money gonna come from? We're already in a struggling budget. You guys do the absolute best you can, but are we going to be able to make those payments? Where's that money gonna come from? And where can we find out as the public where that money's gonna come from at an earlier date so that we can come in and ask the questions of you guys that we need to know?
Well, and I don't know if Eric or Lisa and Miles, I mean, there was a matrix that was set up. They looked at the connections, they came up with a number to pay this debt, Now the additional money, that's part of this. That's why this bond is going forward, and we're asking for your comments. And
So basically, back in March, there was a public hearing about the increase in water rates. And so just a meeting just like this, and the public was able to ask questions on the transmission line and propose different ideas and stuff like that. The city council did approve at that meeting to increase water rates. So those were increased officially 3 months ago,
May,
I think,
May.
Yeah,
4 months ago.
and everybody received, did you receive one of these?
No, I don't pay attention. I didn't start paying attention until just recently.
Part of that process was looking at what these numbers were going to be and what it would take for us to make those repayments. So a lot of work was gone into that, which is why the water rates went up the way they did, and Miles has a little more on
Say
that.
that the number we were using at the time, before we got the loan and grant from the state, was $15 million loan. So we raised the rates enough to pay for a $15 million loan. So yes, we don't need to raise any more for this project, it's already been the rates have been brought up enough. Anyway, it'll help us pay for some of the water treatment plant as well.
Fantastic. And the other question I have is this $14 million, I mean, we have a big habit of going over budget. Is that gonna, are we looking at any possible, was there room in that for going under?
Eric, do you want to address that, because you deal with these issues all the time?
Yeah, so, you know, you have a funding approval of $15,197,000, and you know, more than $4 million of that is grant. If you don't spend it all, you spend the loan first and the grant last, and you just get less grant.
Fantastic.
Is there, I think what he's asking, is there a chance that the project cost would go over budget?
Well, that's why the public hearing is for a larger amount than what was approved, the $10 million loan. That's why it's in there just in case, but anyway, maybe I misunderstood. I was also addressing, if we are able to save money, that's great. It means the city gets less grant.
There was a lot of study done ahead of time, looking at contingencies, where things could go wrong, what the process is, where our sticking points are going to be, our trouble areas, and those things were looked at by the engineering services before we, and that's where those numbers came. So there's been a lot of work on that. There's no guarantee that we won't go over, but we will be trying to do everything possible to keep within that range. And our construction companies know that they're expected to keep within that range. Our engineering companies are working to keep their feet to the fire to keep within that range. So there's a lot going on, because we don't want to be coming back and saying, oh, yeah, it went from 14 to 20 million. We don't want to do that.
And what is the amount of time that this fix is going to be? Is it going to be 30-year again? Is
At
it?
least 2 years, possibly 3.
And it will last.
Oh, yeah, how long will this last? Are we going to have to do this again in 10 years?
This line's in
We're
the
replacing.
Yeah, this is from the 20s.
The line is currently a thin wall steel pipe. We're replacing that with HDPE, which is rated for more than 50 years, but it could last up to 100 years.
I like that. All right. Thank you. guys.
The other point is, this section is our most critical need.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and a 2% loan over 30 years, we were gonna have to do this. So this is probably the cheapest we're gonna get it with the funding. What we're getting is, this is not just a want to do, this is an absolute need to do.
Like I said, I'm new to this, and
Appreciate the question.
I want to come in and learn as much as I can, but I just want to make sure that we're not going to be doing this again in 10 years.
Oh, no.
And then, because we got a 30-year loan, if I'm doing it again in 10 years, now we add more onto our water bill.
And they wouldn't loan us money for 30 years on something that would only last 10. I mean,
Plus, it gives us an affordable payment. We can make that payment stretched over 30 years.
And it is something that needs to be done. I've been questioning it for a while before I even started paying attention to any of this. So.
And the urgency of, for the council, we had a meeting back in January where we had the Division of Drinking Water, we had the USDA, we had all the agencies in the room to educate the council on the direction of addressing this particular section. Because 75% of the water Tri-City gets is from this line, and it's very important to get it fixed fast.
And some of us have gone up and actually walked it and seen it, so
Yeah.
we do know the urgency of seeing it in person.
Fantastic. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
There, I might comment that the section being replaced is 7 miles long, of 11, the whole line is 11 miles long total. We're replacing 7 miles, the rest of it's along US 6, and it's a cast iron pipe, it's a different pipe.
And how much longer is that one going to last?
That one is going to last quite a while longer. It's a thicker wall pipe to it. UDOT, when they were trying to put the new guardrails in up the canyon, they were trying to pound the guardrail in, they couldn't figure out why they couldn't get it to go down. So they pulled it out, put a drill in and drilled a hole in our pipe. So it's got integrity for a while. But the thing that I want to make sure we heard, the loan itself, like Eric was saying, if it goes for more, we were trying to cover with our amount we're approving today, but the state typically will give us the same grant loan combination for more money if we need it later on if it's available. They're pretty good to help us with that. Can't speak for what they'll do, but they typically have given more money to a project that runs over budget if it's been carefully done. So if we have to have more money, we can go back to the state, but we don't think we're going to have to. We put 20% contingency in this number.
Okay.
Just one other thing, if you ever have questions, like, don't wait for a public hearing. You're always welcome to come in and ask, and any one of us can get you, you know, if Miles is the one you need to talk to, we can get you there, or, so if you do have questions, you know, go ahead and come in and ask. If you're curious about something or need more understanding of something, go ahead and come in and ask, and we're happy to help you, so.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other public comments? Okay. I'll ask for, the chair will ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll move to close the public hearing at 5:42 p.m.
Have a motion from Councilmember Willis.
Second.
And a second from Councilmember Chrisman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item G, resolution number 2025-21, a resolution authorizing a maximum repayable amount of $14 million taxable water and sewer revenue bond in one or more cities, to final bond resolution to be approved by the mayor and finance director as the pricing committee to construct water system improvements and related matters. You'll have any discussion for this? Okay, the chair will ask for a motion.
Move we authorize the maximum repayable amount of $14 million for water and sewer revenue bonds pursuant to the final bond resolution.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Chrisman.
Second.
And a second from Councilmember Richardson. I'll need a vote or roll call.
Councilmember Richardson,
Aye.
Christian,
Aye.
Willis,
Aye.
not Jesperson,
I
Miller.
Aye. Okay. With that being said, consent agenda items.
You need to strike number 5 there.
Oh, yeah, strike number 5, sorry.
Motion.
I'll need a motion.
Strike number 5 on the agenda, closed session.
Okay,
I'll second that.
I have a motion from Councilmember Chrisman and a second from Councilmember Willis. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Consent agenda, items 6 through A through G. Any discussion? Chair will ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion to accept consent agenda items A through G.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Willis
second.
and a second from Councilmember Jesperson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, item 7, public comment.
Thank you, Mayor. I wish I had a bigger audience. I'll introduce myself. Wayne Jackson, 520 Rose Avenue. And the commissioner was, in the work session, made a good comment about the weeds on your ditches. And for 2.5 years now, I've been asking for the weeds to be cut on 500 South, 100 East, 500 South, 200 East. It causes mosquitoes, especially during the early summer. And I've asked for that to be sprayed. As of yet, the weeds are as tall as me, and I haven't seen no spray truck. Now it's getting too cold for mosquitoes, but I pointed this out last spring, the spring before,
you can check your notes, because I've sent almost every one of you an email.
Is that public ground? Is that someone else's residence or property?
Your mayor, I couldn't tell you. All I know is I'm telling you the street.
I wrote that down there.
I know somebody's building a house off of 500, on 500 South at the end. But I was told he's gonna have to fix his area. So I do not know.
I know our tractor was down in that area, but I wasn't sure.
Well, most of these areas, these ditches are your curb and gutter for your neighborhood. There's no curb and gutter there. And so that's becomes, the neighbors are supposed to be cleaning out to the asphalt on the road. That's what the code says. We can try to come and help when it's a real bad problem.
Well, I've suggested.
I'm just saying, that's the code reads that it's the resident's responsibility that's adjacent to the ditch to keep it clean.
So, houses on one side, you cross the street, it can't be the resident's responsibility. It has to be the property
The
owner's.
street's ours, because we can take care of the culverts.
Okay, I'm saying whoever owns the property where the ditches run should be
Correct.
made to fix the ditches, and I've suggested, dig it out, put corrugated piping in, so the water can flow down to the street drains. And I've suggested that. Yet, I know you're strapped on budget, but I don't get nothing. I got one reply from one of the city council members. Okay, and my other question is, you ran for office to help the citizens of Price. Am I correct? Yes or no? I see that. Well, 2.5 years, I've seen nothing improved on 500s on south of the railroad tracks, as I call it. The roads are terrible. You've got grass growing out of the pavement. So what's going on? The lights are going out.
And Mr. Jackson,
I know you're going to say, I've covered it, but I haven't seen any action. That's, as a resident, I'm paying taxes to help the road conditions.
okay,
That's what my complaint is, Mayor.
okay. And basically, I know that with this work order system, like we said in our workshop, those things are being addressed.
Question for Miles. Are you going to fix that big old terrible area on 600 South right after Rose Park? Somebody did some digging and put rock in it, now it's all over the streets?
That's the gas company, we've got to get them to get back and fix it.
Oh, so they have to
They
fix.
tore it up when they were doing the gas lines down.
Okay, it's
And
terrible.
just to correct you, we've had the only rebuilt road we've had in the last 5 years is Rose Avenue down there, the lower part next to Maverick.
Right.
So that's the only one we rebuilt in the last 5 years.
Right.
So it's not true that we haven't done anything down
Well,
there.
Maverick paid for it, so.
No, they didn't pay for all of it. They paid for part of it.
Okay, all I'm saying
That's
is,
how we got it done, but there's,
Okay.
we've done some improvements down there.
okay,
so.
but I'm complaining about if you walk down the street or drive it during the daytime, you can see what I'm talking about on all your side streets. I even go up on Saturday, I know I'm taking over my time, Mayor, thank you for not cutting. I've even been up north, and I've seen, like you said, bad neighborhood with, not neighborhood, but bad houses, abandoned, as I call them. So I haven't seen no car, no lights in them. You have 5 abandoned homes south of the railroad track.
As far as the ordinance goes, we can send this information to the police department, to the ordinance officer, and have her put this on her list for the weeds that need to be cut down. And we've discussed before, like some of these light posts are UDOT, and I think they've been contacted. We don't have any control over when they do things, but we can follow up with them on, and then do you have light posts? Like, we need numbers.
Well, it's
So when you're out at 4 AM,
I will try. By next meeting, I will try.
Send me an email.
I will send you an email with the post number so Steve upstairs can go check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any other public comment? Okay, with that, item 8, unfinished business. I think that, I think as a council, with Lane Safety Seconds, Joe's comment, I think that, we recognize our first responders and what what they accomplished this past week, and with the fires, the first responders, what they did, you know, trying to take care of a real bad situation. I just was on the phone prior to this meeting with Justin Needles. And, long story short, I mean, Joe, do you have any comments?
Other than it was potentially probably the most catastrophic event that Carbon County could have faced, and they all, as they usually do, they all came together in one group, and I mean, it was, it might be a precursor to what's to come. It's like the lane's safety second. The volume of the truck traffic that we have on there, we're just not used to that, other than the usual Sunday morning line, and so it's going to take some really preventive measures to instill the need for safety, especially with the Maverick Station and Helper. That's another potential spot with truck traffic, the volume, just the sheer volume of people entering the traffic. I mean, we talk about what happens away from us on Soldier Summit, on Highway 6, on the road, but now we have to include this just as part of that danger.
Since the fast track of the Wildcat loadout expansion is happening, those numbers will increase exponentially over the next course of the next year. And so we do need to be aware, and I know UDOT is doing some road studies right now, but.
Well, and the other thing is, it's just we're letting the community know of the material that is being transported and what training, equipment is very important to the council and us. I think that's the one thing we keep in front of us, you know, with our staff, and making sure that we're putting our money where our mouth is. Any comments? Okay. With that, the chair will ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn and go home.
I have a motion from Councilmember Miller
Second.
and a second from Councilmember Jesperson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 5:53. And thank you for being here. Sergeant, was the police department involved in that? I wasn't going to pull you on that.
I feel terrible that I said that.
I wasn't going to